I think we are ready to move on to charter question number E, and I'm passing it on back to Mikey to give us an overview of the group's thoughts on that. Mikey.
Thanks, Lars. This one is asking the question whether existing penalties for policy violations are sufficient, or if additional provisions and penalties for specific violations should be added into the policy. And this is really one of those ones, again, that sort of harkens back to 2007, 2008. Time has passed, and so our recommendations are pretty low-key. I'll rattle them off and then I'll put a little wrapper around that. The first recommendation is that no additional penalty provisions be added to the existing policy. We go on to say the penalty structure in the 2009 and especially the 2013 RAA are sufficiently nuanced to deal with IRTP violations. And then we go on to say in the second recommendation here, as a matter of principle, GNSO consensus policy should avoid policy-specific sanctions. Rather, it's desirable that the RAA and RA penalty structures be drafted in such a way that assures uniformity and consistency of policy violation penalties. And really, just to sort of back up from this goes back to two things. One is the contracts have changed a lot, and there's a lot more nuance in the penalty structure than there was before. There was basically nuclear option or nothing in some of the older ones. These newer ones have a more gradated approach. But I think the underlying philosophical thing is that it's a bad idea to wire policies with sanctions. Better to have a sanction structure and then say, if you violated the policy, here's the structure, so that we aren't running the risk of getting things sort of out of sync, inconsistent. It's a lot like the rationale we have for the web page redesign in the last set of recommendations. So again, no changes and keep them consistent. Those are our two thoughts. James, you want to comment on that?
Yeah, thanks, Mikey. This was also fairly non-controversial in the working group. I will echo, as a registrar, the perspective that the 2009 RAA, the 2013 RAA have added, I think, some fairly sophisticated and useful structures for violations of policies and penalty structures, and it's important to keep those separate for consistency. We certainly don't want registrars to pick and choose, hypothetically pick and choose which policies they want to abide by and which policies they want to ignore based on the sanction structure, which is one of the vulnerabilities if those were baked into individual policies. So keeping those two separate is an important principle that we should maintain in the ICANN space. And I agree with you. This is something that is probably an artifact from the age of this policy, age of this particular PDP. Current events have overtaken this charter question, and it's no longer relevant.
Okay, thank you very much.